That one I cannot hit any better. Yeah, my name is Velten Meyer. I'm a professional golfer from Germany. I played on various tours around the world. Played in China. Had a really bad accident over there. Took a while to recover. Played the Challenge Tour and the DP World Tour the last few years. Was able to get a win on the Challenge Tour. We're still working hard on the game and trying to get back up to the highest level now. Yeah, I've been working with Liam a little over a year now, and yeah, seen massive improvements. I think the whole philosophy helps me a lot. Saves me a lot of time. I know exactly which drills to do. Things I can fall back to even during tournament rounds, which is huge. Never really had that before. And yeah, really excited for what we've already done and what we're going to do in the future as well. Obviously, we want to get ready for the television show, the big break. So that's a big project, very important. It's a big opportunity, and hopefully Liam can get me ready for that one.
The great thing when I coach Velten is that he always comes to me with the things that we need to work on. It's not like I'm having to necessarily even dictate the session. So he's very aware. He's played a lot of high-level golf. He knows what it is he's feeling and what he doesn't want to feel. So the nice thing is we can give him those solutions before he obviously heads out to Texas. Today for me, it's just making sure that he's able to kind of feel what he wants to feel, make sure the ball's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and just let him make sure that when he steps onto that plane that he's ready to go.
Looking forward to getting to work today. And let's do it. Liam.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
Absolutely, anytime.
Been playing good?
Yeah, game's solid.
No.
Few things, so I think we can brush up on.
Yep. Been a while.
Similar things. Yeah, it's been a minute. Obviously, been working on the stuff we talked about online and on the phone, but there's a couple of things here and there where I think it's good to catch you in person.
Yeah.
And see if we can hit them even better.
Well, the last time was what, Orlando?
Yeah, in Florida.
Isn't it pretty nice out there last time I saw you?
Yeah.
Round the tree.
Round the tree.
Round the tight tree.
Couple of birds.
Couple.
Yeah.
A lot. But yeah, so what have you kind of what's been bothering you?
Basically for me, I would say there's probably 2 or 3 things. It's like I still have that tendency of like I don't want to use my wrists as much.
Okay.
So I can feel like it gets short, the club travel per se.
Do we want that though, or do we want more? Do we want to feel more club load, or do you want to kind of stick with? Because I know in the past when we've talked about club loading,
right.
You're like,
I want to feel a little bit because I can tell when I do it, it feels a lot more effortless. It's like if I don't load the club, it feels like I can still hit it nice and all fine, but it's like so much work. It's like that whole move. It's like so much body and stuff, and like if we can get a bit more of that back in there per se, I think it's kind of like take stress off the body. Yeah. And make it a little bit more efficient, I guess. Yeah. So that's one of the things, and the other thing is still like one of my old tendencies. I tend to like from here I always want to kind of spin open with the shoulders, and then obviously this gets out of the way, and then I gotta kind of dip back.
Well, that is a byproduct of the first piece as well, which we know with you, isn't it? Obviously, if you're not loading the club well enough, the loading of the club, what it does, because it loads quite late when it loads properly, what that does is it builds time for you then to be able to push in a certain direction.
Right.
The problem is obviously when you get short, you're just going to want to, you've got to leverage speed, or you've got to create it.
Yeah.
Once you don't have club load, you're not going to create it in a throwy way or in a movement way. You're going to create it through kind of pulling and turning, because that's where the best way of putting it, what it creates when you're at the top, when you have a good club load, is it creates this like potential energy in front of you that you can actually go and get. So, and what I mean by that is when I have all this time at the top here, any potential energy that I'm trying to find in the ground or in front of me, it just gives me the time to be able to actually go and get it. Whereas when you get a little bit short, all of that energy disappears and you've got to create it. So what ends up happening with you is once you're here, the only way you can leverage speed is to kind of pull and
Yeah.
turn. So we know that happens with you anyway.
Yeah.
Like we said to you before, though, you have a couple of options. Obviously, we can load the club better, or unfortunately for me, you've got to get that kind of upper body more off than I would like with somebody that does load it
Right.
better, just
Yeah.
because we have to find that time for you to be able to move back in some way.
Yeah.
And that's probably likely to be the other way. So we've always known with you, we've got two options.
Yeah.
And I do think this winter's probably going to be a good spell for us, because if we do need a month of you at home where you can just go, right, I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
Whenever we seem to see each other, your schedule's quite hectic with playing.
Yeah, it's difficult. You know, you're in tournaments and you play, and all of a sudden it's super windy.
Yeah.
And you know, loading it more gives me more height.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, I want to keep it down. Then you play a week in the wind, and then it's more like, you know, little like
punchy shots,
draggy punches.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
the thing
difficult,
is, though, mate, what
like
we can do is obviously once we've got that backswing in position, we can start to actually kind of build in how we get the flight down through a better transition again. Obviously, until we get that piece, we can't do that. But yeah, and I think obviously with you playing soon in the event, it's probably not a good time to be tearing it up and starting again. So like you say, if we can add those couple of pieces in for you today, and the thing is, we can do some real simple things. A couple of things of maybe just helping you reduce that grip tension and forearm tension a little bit. That naturally will give you a little bit more hinge at the top.
Like
it's almost like the wrists allow the hinge rather than create it when you do it that way.
Yeah.
And the other good thing is because you won't have as much control over the club through the initial kind of six feet of the backswing, your body will have to participate better as well, because if it doesn't, it's just going to get all flimsy and floppy and all over the place. So let's just watch you hit a couple more, and then we'll just go from there. I'll obviously get a couple on my own camera as well, so we can have a little look and a little chat about that.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we'll go from there. It's generally pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nicely online, and strike's actually pretty good. When you get a little bit spinny sometimes, we've just got to be careful of a couple of things.
Yeah, exactly. And I can. The nice thing is I can feel it.
Yeah.
If I'm here and I do this, it's almost like, obviously not panic, but I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you don't do that, and if you come from here, you can feel like you can hit it as hard as you want without losing the face or anything. Yeah.
Is it left that you struggle with when you get off, or is it a particular miss?
No, I pretty much 9 out of 10 times I miss to the right.
Okay, great. But is it push cutty, or is it just cutty, or is it, what's the actual shot?
Yeah, I would say
starts right, moves right.
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much.
Great.
Barely ever miss it left. I mean? But
well, that's still a good sign, because the thing is, it's when it starts moving left, that's when we start kind of having issues with releasing clubs and stuff like that. Because obviously if you start seeing it left, the last thing you're going to do is release it. So at least it is more of a right miss. That should be quite easy. And the thing is, when we talked a minute ago about loading the wrists, the issue is if you don't load the wrists, you can't get the club face on path early enough. So the problem is like, it very often leads to that slightly more open face, and also because it then will get narrow, you've then got to rotate across, which is probably where
I know.
Push cut.
That's I think that's exactly it. Like earlier this year in the tournament I won in Morocco, where I didn't make a bogey the whole tournament.
It's ridiculous.
And I had much more the feeling of like some drives and other clubs too. I felt like I was here. I could just release it, send it out, and it would like always draw, but it would never go left.
Never overcut. Great.
Which like gives you a feeling of so much control.
That would indicate to us that your chest's in a better position in transition as well. So yeah. All right, mate. Well, let me video a couple, and then we'll go from there. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
You really kind of.
That was a little late strike, and kind of like, I know it wasn't much offline, but it wasn't like crisp per se.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't that was probably pretty much exactly the move that I sometimes do when I'm not happy. So
the good thing is, though, mate, you can see why it's still a lot better than what it had been. Just because even there, it's nowhere near as extreme as kind of when we started.
Right.
If you just kind of come into the ball for me, Velten, and then I'll set up to it for me.
Okay.
Right, if I had a club here, yeah, which is obviously your ball position.
Yeah.
The only thing I think we've got to get with you is kind of the orientation of your shoulders. So I talk a little bit about geometry. So there's lots in which you've got to move through. There's like spine tilts, there's shoulder angles in regards to open, close, and then shoulder tilts. So with you, what I think's happening is that if we had that line on the ground, let me just grab another club, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine.
That your sternum at the moment, for me, when we're looking at this line here, your sternum gets kind of this angle too early. So once it gets ahead that way, if you imagine like low point wise, it's always going to be almost a bit too far forwards, a bit too across it. And particularly like if you imagine if you start moving ball position forwards as well, you're going to have a couple of problems. Like, so for me, what I think we should do today is a couple of things. I actually think the backswing looks pretty good. We can add some really simple feels in just to help you soften your forearms a little bit. You can do 2 variations of that. We will try both and see which one you react to the best. I think one of them you'll probably top it the first time we do it, but the second one's a little bit easier. So what we can do is just naturally kind of, you pass me the club a second. If I was just to take my top 2 fingers off this grip and just leave almost the club there in my left hand, what that then does for me is, sorry, it'd be the bottom 2 fingers. What it'll do for me then is straight away I'll get a better awareness of the weight of the golf club, just because it gets a lot heavier because my right hand's the only thing on the club.
The left can't hold on to much.
And then the second one, then we can test it if it's more right hand that's a problem. We can then also kind of do one where we literally just take the thumb off the right hand. We can try both and see which one reacts better to you. I'll be honest, I think for you it's probably more than likely going to be this one.
My first instinct says
it's going to be that one, because the thing is you're so strong through your left wrist that it's probably going to be more left hand. So what it's going to feel like if you just kind of was to put like that on top of those just 2 fingers keep and then re-grip like normal, and then that should help us with that a little bit.
Keep those 2 off.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to feel, and it's going to feel horrendous.
The club's going to fly away.
I know.
I'm going to just hit it, what, 3/4?
Yeah, just kind of, how far would you normally hit that?
Probably 145.
Okay, so you could even go kind of 100, 110, that kind of region.
Is there anything I'm looking for with the sternum on this one?
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So I want to see if naturally, if you load the club better, I want to see if you naturally do it anyway. And then if not, we can do a couple of things just to help you with it.
No guarantee is here?
Nope, no expectation. So like I said to you, the first go you'll top it. Yeah. So that's expected, and the reason is because what's going to have to happen very quickly, and I reckon it will probably take you 4 to 5 balls. What will happen very quickly is your body's going to start going, well, hang on, because now I don't have any control over the club head. If I turn, I won't get the club into the ground.
Got it.
So what's going to have to happen is for you to be able to time this up is when we were talking about this line here, you're going to have to almost feel like you're staying more patient in this angle as opposed to you going this way.
Yeah, I go here and
then the club can't get into the ground. So you're going to have to be more patient with the chest.
More from there.
So same feel, patient with the chest. And it's a little bit better. So if you were working through people, mate, no matter what drills I do, generally when it's kind of somebody's too rotational, I do a lot of, when people step off it and all these kind of things, obviously because they get further behind the ball, if they naturally spin from there, I always say to them, you're going to go through almost 4 stages, and you'll notice I've jumped you in at the second one because I knew you wouldn't shank it. So it normally goes shank, top, then it goes thin to the right.
I appreciate you going straight to the top with me.
Yeah, I trusted you going in at least 1 stage higher, which luckily we went in at the right one. But then normally that was a bit thin to the right. The next one will be like more flush to the right, and then what you'll do in the 5th one then is hit it pretty straight.
Okay.
So I'd expect this one to be a bit more on ball because you've had a couple of goes now. So same thing, more patient with the chest, and just let's improve strike a little bit, like so, but out to the right, which is exactly what I told you would happen.
Yes.
And then the next...
So you think that one, obviously with hand off, whatever, goes out to the right because I still...
Body's better, haven't quite let it go.
And
exactly.
Okay,
so what you'll start to do now is now the body's now in a position that you can actually square the face up earlier.
Yep.
What you'll do now on this next one is you now know you can let it go, and it'll be back online. So stable and let it go. And it gets a bit more online, and then just let it go.
Thin still. That was.
Might need to give it a smidge more energy because, to be honest, I'd normally be doing this with like a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
So you might just give it a bit more than 100 yards. So same thing and go. There you go, beautiful. And
Yeah,
all it's going to do then, mate, is basically like for you with the wrist load, it will just give you a better awareness of the club head. And it's not even something you can warm up with this, or if you're doing your towel work,
Yeah.
you can literally just take your 2 fingers off the end of the grip
Yeah.
and just do whatever drills you're already doing, but just add that in. And what it will do naturally, it'll just soften your kind of elbows and below,
Yeah.
so that you actually can load or unload the club if you want to. Whereas obviously if you're giving it the old death grip,
Right.
you can't do it.
Let me try one more. I can already feel more load here, but also through the ball where it's like
Letting it go more.
it's like quicker through here, and it's
Yeah.
not like.
Well, because you're
this
on the extreme
draggy.
side of things,
Yeah.
like with the how rigid and short you do get, the thing is that likelihood is once you've done this for 4 or 5 balls, I'd expect you to flush one, and then I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect you to kind of look back from there.
Yeah, I see. One question, Liam.
Yep.
Obviously, if I load it more here, do you think I need to be careful that I don't per se get like lazy with my shoulder turn? Because obviously I can put the club up
Yeah.
and I don't turn much. So like, what would you say? Like, how
that-
much of this
well,
and how much of?
Well, that's just where width is still a factor.
Okay.
So obviously we're looking for timing through extra backswing length.
Yeah.
But if we lose width, we've lost time in that way. So
Then
it's
it's like we're
maintaining
in
the
the same-
structure you have. Your
Yeah.
structure's working great.
Okay.
It's then just adding this in as a little bit of kind of extra.
So it's not like, oh, it's loading more, we're turning less. It's like still.
you're not kind of just going to start going like this all of a
Right.
sudden. It's like you're still participating the chest enough.
Yeah.
But because the fingers are off, naturally it's just going to load later.
Yeah.
So, but it's all the exact same structure that you already have, because we already
Okay.
know that's very good.
Yeah. Okay. So
So nothing changes with that.
no need to get lazy there.
No. It's just the fingers off itself. Because the thing is, mate, it's probably only going to be loading from here, probably rib cage height to the top. It's not like
this
all of a sudden
part,
you're
right?
going to start flicking it back from
Right.
here.
Okay, so you're saying like I'm not gonna go here, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of from
Yeah.
here and then it's softer. But if I'm like rigid,
It's just not going to set.
I'm there, and then to create the speed, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But if I get a little bit of that, I can stay in.
I also think, mate, that's where like a lot of people go wrong, because they obviously get told to hinge the wrists, and what they don't realise is they're making it super narrow. In regards to, obviously, if you were to hinge it here, the problem now is you've created almost 100% of your range in your right wrist.
Right.
Your arms are still down and in front of you. So if I was to turn to the top, then that's about as much range as I have. So from here, I'm going to have to start tilting, lifting, or over rotating. Whereas the way that I'm asking you to do it there, because the load's so late,
Makes total sense.
you get that backswing length without having to do something crazy with your body, which is quite a nice place to be in. So yeah, so let's hit a couple more.
That
and
is
just see if
very
you
nice.
can get comfortable
Fingers
with
still off?
it. Yeah, why not?
Keep it. See if we can.
And just want you to
Well,
get what I
because
really
I
want
can
you to
stay
have.
here, come in, and then really release it, huh?
Yeah, what I want you to have is just that nice feeling of like the club heads working more with you, not arms on their own.
Got it.
Nice, good, pretty good, Matt. After 10 goes, 8 goes. And like I said, this isn't something that obviously we really need to overly think about. This,
Yeah.
I think the next piece will be like where the swing thoughts are.
Yeah.
But for me, if you could just do 20 of those to start your session, or 12 of those to start
Yeah.
your session,
Soften
it's just
it
going to
up a
give your
little bit.
arms a bit of a kind of straight away in your session. What it's going to do, it's just going to put a bit of synergy between kind of your arms, the club head, and your body, and you not kind of trying to overpower it when you start your sessions, and then that's only going to help you later on in
I like that.
in your practice.
Yeah, that's even something like what I told you before, where I like this whole philosophy that I can like almost like self-correct myself on the. Say I go on the course and 12 holes in, and I feel like it's like rigid and stiff. Maybe I just make a few of like just in the practice move.
Yeah.
Get that feel, and then obviously hit my normal shot.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Um,
It's nice to have that almost instant gratification of what you're feeling. It's
Yeah.
nice to know, especially obviously when you're in a show where you might be playing 3-hole matches and stuff like that, where if you don't feel comfortable, it's nice just to know, right, I can feel this, walk in and just let it go.
Yeah.
Because the problem is if you're not feeling comfortable and then you're under that kind of pressure.
Yeah. And I
get a
actually
bit
know
tricky.
I know 2 guys in the past that been on the show.
Okay.
Don Donatello and Oren Gary
Yeah,
are their names.
Okay,
And they told me some of these days are like you might be out there for like 10 hours
yeah.
and you only hit like 5, 6, 7 golf shots
Yeah.
that matter.
Yeah.
And then potentially you could get eliminated in a match or whatever. So it's like pretty much long days. You got to stay ready.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing you've
And,
got is, Velten, obviously, as soon as they tell you what you're doing, and just go grab your towel and start whacking it behind the buggy somewhere.
Yeah,
and just kind of just start loosening yourself
on the
off
range.
and get ready.
People are like, "Who's this maniac?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, watch out for me.
Hopefully they've got a game where it's who can hit the towel the furthest. We might have a chance.
Would love that. One more question, Liam.
Go ahead.
If I incorporate that, how long would you want me to, like, say I move off here, load it better, like the feeling of keeping my arms up there, because I quite like that feeling.
I love that feel, yeah.
At what point do you want me to, like, kind of like
let it go?
Yeah.
So for you, it's going to be different to, like I did a video with James last week where we're talking about throwing it from the top.
Okay.
I think it ranges within what club you have, because obviously a driver shaft's going to be longer, so you've got to let that go a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But I think with you, because your tendency is more to kind of, because you really sit and rotate, so the thing for you is getting you back on top of the golf ball is our biggest objective within what we're trying to achieve. So for you, probably a little bit longer than most. So for you, I want you to kind of, if we're on the towel, I'd almost want you to almost reach that maximum point of what you're doing. So it's almost like from here, it's like I want you to really overwork that feel to here, because when you leave your arms up, you can only move so far. Like you can't, if I pull my arms down, I can obviously move further.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I leave my arms up, if I can get to that maximum point,
makes sense.
Then start to feel the throw. It's still going to be from the top. It's just going to be a little bit later cadence-wise than it would be with other people.
Yeah. Because, you explained to me before, if I pull this down, whatever the arms weigh, yeah,
it's like 13.5% of your body weight.
Yeah.
So if you imagine also adding a club on the end of that, and because it's isolated,
heavy, I do this, it's like a tater tot.
There you go.
Just
and
physics,
that was the move that we know with you. That's the biggest move that we're trying to move away from, because that's what you did quite extreme when we met. Probably one of the more extreme versions of it that I've come across. So for you, that's why I would say we've got to go almost more extreme the other way, and just keep you. And also, it's going to help you kind of get into that toe a little bit easier. One other thing I would say, Val, just to address, if you could just like, I don't mind your right toe being quite square, but your left toe, if we could just get it out a little bit more. So
a little bit more here.
Exactly, because in a moment when I'm asking you to kind of push more this way, it's harder obviously if my left toe's in. If I'm more that way, it kind of gives me a bit of room to be able to do it. Exactly.
Okay.
Nice, mate. That was nice.
That one I cannot hit any better. we can be here for the next 3, 4, 5 hours.
And that's it. That's the end goal.
For a nice, controlled, solid wedge.
Beautiful, isn't it?
All I can give you.
Yeah. Little 1 yard draw, 2 yard draw. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is though, now you've got that little bit of softness again, that little bit of extra time it gives you at the top. Naturally, it's all just sequence. So it's like a little bit softer, allows you to load it a bit more here. That gives you a little bit more time to push that way as opposed to spin.
Yeah.
Then because you're more this way, you can then throw and pull up easy. It's all part of your pattern.
Yeah.
What we've got to do is just go in and see which one's colliding at the moment, and we just got to withdraw it out a little bit. But I think you could do a little bit of work as well, helping that kind of push in a little bit more. There's numerous things we can obviously do for that. The most simple way for you when you're warming up is just to drop your right foot back a little bit. Because obviously if you naturally set up here and just do this, anything that moves left now, at the moment your feet would be moving more like that. So if I can go this way, it's naturally going to kind of, I'm really big for you on this sternum
Give me
position.
more that diagonal piece, right?
Yeah, and it'll help us keep like the buttons on your shirt. Obviously, if I just show this camera, like if I had buttons on my shirt here, what I'm looking for you is that this is kind of behind this line still, but it's also pointing in this direction. I think with you sometimes what we really struggle with is it gets
I'm already
like
pointing here with
and
that.
It's over this side of the line, but it's also pointing this way. And I just think the more we can obviously start to set you more like this way and get you feeling more almost like this. So if you go to the top for me, Velten, what I want you to do is just kind of go to the top, and then I want you to feel like you're just going to drop the club to the ground, but I want you to drop it back here. There you go. So what that's going to do for you then, if you look at the buttons on your shirt now, you see how they're pointing more here. And also if I was to draw a line down from the buttons on your shirt, you're still behind the club. And I think those two things for you are going to be really important, particularly because we don't get to see each other in person that often.
Yeah.
I think checkpoints for us are more important than
Absolutely.
it would be that somebody I'm seeing every 2 weeks.
Right.
And I feel like that's a really big checkpoint for us. And I just think that the more feels you can get of obviously having the club more this way, what you're naturally also going to do without realizing is that because you're trying to drop the club almost into your right foot, and you're not pulling the arms down, you're actually throwing the club down. It's not like we're just kind of yanking the handle down. But the big thing is what you're naturally going to see is a little bit of a shift this way anyway, because you've got to create the space for it. So for you, I think that orientation of feeling that chest more back, doing it that way is a big thing for you.
So it's from here.
Yeah, you're going to feel like you drop the club behind you.
Goes
exactly.
Here.
There you go.
Chest is kind of here instead of here.
Yeah. And then what will happen from there then is naturally, because you're closed off and you're releasing the club, your body naturally will start to shift low point onto the golf ball without you having to think. And I've almost done that a few times on a ball, Velten, where I've literally gone, like from here, I'll go up, drop it behind me, and then hit the ball straight after. And it's amazing how it comes out. Have a go. Honestly, it's less crazy than you think.
We've seen the top earlier. Now you're looking for the shank.
No, this will be
just
good.
kidding.
I think you'll flush this.
Okay, so
nice backswing.
give it a try.
That's it. And just drop it to the ground. Drop it to the ground. Bit more behind you. That's it. And then there you go. And then go. Because what it does then, it gets your low point more on top of it.
You weren't joking, I guess.
It's nice, huh?
You know what you're doing.
Get lucky sometimes, bud.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Yeah, but what it's going to do for you is just going to compound. Like, if I just get my phone again, where did I put my phone? Down here.
That's why I think it's funny. Like, the first time I've ever seen you, the video you posted, where we gave me a bit more space here too. People online losing their minds, like, oh, this guy's like casting whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, but they don't understand like the whole like, obviously. Sure, you get a guy in here who scoops it, you're not going to tell him, hey, like this, but you have me doing this.
But what I promise you, mate, is like, even the person that looks like this, if you think, it's all just relative to body position, because if I go this way and I throw it, I'm going to look like this. The thing is, even if I don't change my wrists and I just put my head back where it should be, I've now got shaft lead. So the thing is, it's not actually, you wouldn't stop somebody casting it. You would get them to actually work their body better.
Right.
And the thing with you is you're a spinner.
Yes.
So if I ask you to throw it off your initial movement, you're going to look somewhat like this.
Yes.
So that's why then you start to drive the handle to try and match up to your movement. But the thing is, mate, like with the cast element of it, if you look at the best players in the world, or the best ball strikers, the longest ball strikers in the world, they lag it, but they're also the fastest to get rid of that lag.
Yes.
Whereas you look at like amateurs that are struggling with their game, it's like, oh yeah, I've got to lag it.
Yeah.
And they're like,
drag it, hold it, kills all the speed.
Is it cool? Kills all speed, kills start line, kills strike. It causes all kinds of problems. So even though I'm getting you to do this, if you watch it when you do that, when you hit, if you remember, it looks like this in the drill, but as you do it, it like lags loads. Then throws down at the golf ball. It's not really any different. And what we're going to see with this is the angles in which I'm trying to create with the sternum with this version of it. And the thing is, mate, like try and feel like it's like almost here.
Okay.
Because the further behind you go, the more you'll get those buttons looking like they're shut off. Right. Let me do it one more time. Right, you ready, bud?
Yeah. I'll hit it on the ground twice, and then I'll
hit the third one. Yeah.
So I'll go here.
Down.
Down.
Down. Then hit.
It's ever so slightly behind, but it was pretty solid.
Look at the difference in how your chest works. See that? Again, just didn't quite let the club go early enough, which is why it's a bit chunky. So to you, it's going to feel like...
it still looks...
It's better.
Quite nice.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It looks a lot better. But what will happen is then, though, the more comfortable you get being sat this way with the body, you can then all of a sudden start to match the mass of the club head up with the mass of your body.
So I can let it go even earlier.
Early as you like.
Because obviously, you know, first instinct, my brain is like, okay, let's not hit the ground here, obviously,
won't.
But
because the thing is, what will happen is, as you're releasing that club, you'll naturally start to want to shift low point forwards through your lateral motion, through your mass shifting.
Makes sense. Okay.
So again, same thing. So drop it behind you. Good, and again, and then go, throw it. There you go, beautiful. Some serious pound off the turf there.
Yeah, it had some
The thing that's
height
nice
on it too.
is you've got turf here and you also had turf here. These ones feel very head and covery in the way that they sound. That sounds more
like laid, kind of like draggy.
Yeah.
And that was like
it's on. Yeah, on the ball. And the nice thing is you're getting a nice little launch there, which the great thing is we know that with this motion, if you don't want it to launch quite as high, you just don't release it as early. But from this body position, you can literally choose to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the nice piece.
Yeah, that would have been my next question. Say, same concept, same move.
Yeah.
Say I want to flight one into the wind.
Yeah.
Release it less. Would you say for me just a bit less release?
Yeah. It's just going to feel more like this. Just going to feel more of this piece, and then the release will be a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I can still load it though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you say, you're loading it more just through lack of tension in your hands and arms. It's not really because you're trying to actively load it.
Okay. I think that's
in the winter, we'll actively load it, but
a
couple of weeks away from a big event, we'll just let the softness do it for us.
Yeah.
Nice, buddy. Good.
Perfect. Shall we try a couple real quick, maybe with a
do it.
Long club or
what do you want to hit? Do you want to hit like a 7-6 iron?
6 iron.
Same thing. So that's it, mate. So just a little bit softer in your hands and your forearms, loading the same you always do, and then from there, then I just want you to have that feeling of almost like this here is almost kind of going to be a little bit more this way for a bit longer. There you go.
Longer there.
Beautiful.
And then
that's it, and then you can let it go.
When I go here and in there, you want me?
Just throw it.
I can throw and kind of like...
Yeah, you can do that and pull up. And you'll pull up naturally because obviously if you start to release it, you're not going to dump it in the ground 6 inches behind.
Yeah.
You're going to want to naturally pull up and get out the way of it anyway.
Fair enough.
So left toe out a little bit more, mate. There you go. Beautiful.
Okay.
A little bit softer and then a bit more closed. Nice. Quite low launching clubs for you, those ones.
Yeah, that was it was a groove thin.
Yeah.
But I felt how it came in, like kind of on the. It wasn't like that one.
Yeah.
So
just do me the same thing, and then all I want you to do is just drop your right foot back like 2 inches. There you go. Right,
so that's not me closing. That just kind of diagonal.
Yeah, you're going to stay dead square and then just drop your foot back, and then do the exact same thing for me that you just did.
Okay.
Nice. And that just goes to show you, like, if you're not quite getting the ground or you feel a bit ahead of it.
Yeah.
So if you starting to get that kind of like groove low, feel like you can't get into the ground how you want to, just literally just drop that back for a few, and it will just naturally keep you more held into your position with your body.
Okay. Yeah, I have to keep in mind on that one that I'm not just like closing my stand. That it's more like
the problem is if you close off with everything, you'll come over the top even more.
Yeah, because
you've got to get it.
I want to go there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's normal setup, and then just drop the right foot back.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest kind of things that I see people do wrong, actually.
Yeah. So bit here.
Yep.
Drop this slightly back.
Exactly.
Give it a bit more in, and then
softer back. In you go. Nice, mate. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was flushed.
Yeah, that's the one. And the thing is, all it'll do is obviously all you're doing it every day. If you're hitting, imagine you're hitting 12 balls with the 2 fingers off the end of the grip. Imagine you're hitting 12 balls with your right foot back. Before you know it, then you've had 25 reps at the start of the session that control both of your tendencies. So all of a sudden you're just building in a good baseline to start every day.
Yeah.
And I just think the more you chip away at those issues all the time through the drills and these little feels, when you get out on the golf course, then like if it was me feeling what you do, I'd almost be doing every single practice swing almost like this, like almost like really closed off and really staggered, just because there's no reason for you not to be. And then when you get over the ball, then it's just like, right, feel it, go and hit.
Yeah, I think, like you said, doing all those reps, then obviously if you're out on the course, you see the shot, it's like
play.
You're just going to play, and that stuff's going to come in there.
It's just going to be there, yeah. And under the kind of pressure, because it's going to be a bit of a pressure cooker out there, there's no better place to be than almost in that kind of flow state whilst you're out there. You don't want to be stood there worried about your club face at P2.
No. So foot's back.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of my old.
Yeah, a little open.
Where I came here and then.
Yeah, and you notice like that shot's going to be the same every time, because as soon as that kind of sternum gets this side of the line too early, you can't do anything then but also hold on to it.
It's nice that I noticed immediately what I did.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh,
where did that come from?
Yeah. So that's
same thing. So it's just going to feel like, and again, if you want to, after missing one like that, just drop the club down to the ground, keep your chest more closed. There you go, beautiful, that's it. And then when you get to the top then, so it's softer back, more closed on the way down. Beautiful. Then you get back to that natural shape.
Perfect.
And it's nice that like when we were at Orange Tree last time we played, like you had that shot on absolute string.
Yeah.
Like off the tee in particular, probably the tightest golf course in the world. And you're just hitting these lovely little baby draws everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I just think they're the key points, mate. I think for the tension question, like just taking those two fingers off the end of the grip, it's just going to give you a bit more awareness of the club and the weight of it. It's going to make you really overfeel the weight of the club. That's going to help the club load a little bit later, and then from there in transition, then it's just getting you feeling more kind of here for longer. With two pieces, it's almost like it's the lower body, yes, but I really want you to have that intention of almost that you're keeping this behind the ball and at the ball position and also close to it for as long as humanly possible, so you actually can get the club to line up earlier. Once they're back together, the mass of the club and the mass of the body can then just rip through. And I think particularly as you get more under pressure, having that synergy between the club and you can only help you.
Absolutely.
Happy, mate?
Yeah.
All right, bud.
Very happy. Thanks.
Too easy.
Appreciate it.
Easy.